Hi guys, it's Marianne. I am here today to do I know not what. No, I really don't know what I'm going to do today. And that is because last Saturday at our Saturday Night Live party, we played a fun game that I came up with, and actually it was really fun, where everybody told me what to use in order to make things. So I typed up a list of just hundreds of elements, and everything from a die cut to a brad to a clothespin to a popsicle stick to a flower, a word, a stencil, a label, collage, eyelet, anything. All the things that I could think of that we use or could use. Doesn't mean I've even used them all. Typed them all up and gave the list to everybody who was going to be viewing our live party. And they got to choose which elements I had to use to make things. So maybe I've got them right here. I can show you quickly because it's kind of what we're doing today. So the first item, somebody told me that I needed to use vellum. And so I used the vellum and made this. Be yourself, everyone else is taken. Just quick and easy, kind of getting in the swing of things. And then item number two people each got to tell me an item because it's two, so I had to use two items. So somebody said a bottle cap and somebody said Old English furniture polish. So this paper actually has Old English furniture polish over it. And then there was a little bit of gesso and then Old English over the top of that around the outside to make it look a little more vintage. And then the third thing, three people got to tell me. So somebody said use a puzzle piece. So I had this giant puzzle piece and I had just covered it in a napkin. Somebody said use something black and somebody else said use a binder clip. So I had just barely covered it in a napkin, so I kind of sanded the edges off just a little bit, used black marker around it for a frame, and then used a binder clip, grabbed some scrap coffee dyed paper, made a little, just a little notebook there, and with the binder clip, put it on to turn it into basically a, can't even think of what it's called. You know, those boards that, you know, those, yeah. And you can replace it anytime you need, but you could put a magnet on this and put it up on the fridge or somewhere where it's easily seen for quick notes, list to the store or whatever it is. For the fourth thing, there was four people got to tell me what to do, what to use anyway. Fourth, oh, come on, gotta be right here. Fourth thing, well, fourth and fifth aren't right here. Well, that's a bummer. I felt like the things got better and better as we went along. The more I didn't have to make any decisions about what to use, but they told me what to use, the more free my creativity went, I felt. And I'll find 4 and 5, and I'll, yeah, they're posted in the group. If you're interested, they're posted in Happy Paper People on Facebook. Yeah, I'm not even sure where I put them. I didn't even intend to show those, so didn't make sure that they were there before I started. But the whole point is that night, everybody decided, the viewers all decided to have a group challenge, and they paired off, or not paired off, each person chose one person and assigned them 3 items, 3 elements that they were to use in making something. And we had until, I think, this Saturday to make it and get it posted in the group and then send it to the person who gave you the 3 elements that you were to use. And then, so I chose somebody and told her what 3 elements to use, and then she chose somebody else and told them what 3 elements to use, and they chose somebody else and told them what 3 elements to use. So my friend Glynis in Canada told me to use lace, a bulb pin, and parchment. And I honestly have no idea. 5 minutes into this, I have no idea what we're going to make. But that's okay. We're just going to start doing. Parchment, I thought maybe I would decoupage a napkin on top of it. I thought maybe that would give me some creative spark. Yeah, the piece of parchment that I grabbed is not even big enough to put this whole thing on, so that was brilliant for starters. But let's just do that. Let's just do that, because that's a really pretty napkin. I already took the backing off of it. I just have the napkin top sitting around here, but it's you know, cardinals and birds and frames and plates and tickets and cool things, butterflies. So let's, yeah, that could probably use a little bit of water, but that's okay. We're just going to get this down. Actually, I do have just a little bit of water here, and I think I almost stuck that. I might have stuck that in my hair. Okay, well, now I got to take a minute to mix it all up, but it was getting a little thick. I haven't used it for a couple of weeks, and so it was getting a little bit thick in there. This is just my glue pot, and all it is tacky glue, and I've got 3, see that triangle cosmetic sponges in the bottom. They help keep it all moist and not dry out, but put some tacky glue in it and a little bit of water. Not a lot of water, don't want it super thin, just a little bit of water to make it a little more spreadable than the thick glue that we would use, you know, coming out of the bottle for gluing down elements and things like that. So it was getting a little thick because I haven't used it in a bit, so add a little bit of water there. Then all I'm going to do is spread this on the parchment paper and get that napkin on here. Now look, that's making the parchment paper ripple, but that might be just because that was so thick, because it did need to be watered down just to thin out just a little bit. So I'm gonna take this down, I guess probably about the same distance here, and not sure how far over that napkin went. I guess I could have measured, huh? And then I'm gonna cut the bottom part of the napkin off that goes right here, and I can put that over here. All right, so our parchment is curling. Parchment is curling. Come on, parchment. You gotta lay straight. You gotta lay flat. Now my fingers are gluey, which means I need to grab a baby white. And of course, I got it. There we go. Okay. So I got a baby wipe. Let's make sure I got the glue off. Otherwise, that napkin's just gonna stick to me and rip something awful. So let's do this. I would go right to the edge, but that edge is curling, and I don't want it to curl, so I'm not quite going to the edge there, am I? That's okay. I need to grab a. Oh, sorry for the arm under there. Grab a bone folder and see if this will help smooth out just a little bit. I feel like that glue was very thick and very heavy underneath there. Yeah, see, that's kind of very, very thick and very heavy glue. Okay, maybe I need to grab another piece of parchment. Maybe that wasn't the very best glue to use. I'm putting that napkin down on the parchment. But maybe that'll turn out okay. Who knows? First of all, let's... I hate cutting those birds in half right there. I'm just gonna cut, I guess I'll just leave it like that. This edge. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. A little bit there. I don't think we needed nearly as much glue underneath it. If you were screaming that to me, well, I just didn't hear you. But I do like to get some of this on top. And if nothing else, we'll turn this into a very cool, vintage, aged, crinkled. If we don't get it very smooth, we'll make it crinkled on purpose. We'll vintage it up. That would actually be very cool looking. That is pretty. I didn't want to run out and grab or go to the other side of the room and grab a clear medium, and the gesso that I have sitting here is white, so I didn't want to use white. So that's why I grabbed the glue pot, which is great for collaging, getting all those pieces stuck down. Okay, so now this will help it stick from top. All right, I'm going to put this back on here because we probably aren't going to need that again. We'll get the brush and some water, put that out of the way. See if we can clean up some of this glue right here with this baby wipe. And then I'm going to grab the heat gun. Now we've got that edge right there. It kept holding under. See, now there it is out nice. I could have gone all the way to the edge, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to grab the heat gun because we don't have time to sit around and wait for this to, well, it doesn't help if the power's off. All right, hang on a second there. Let me get a couple things adjusted here. My cup out of the way so that I don't tip it over. That would not be good. All right. This is a very soft heat gun, but let's see if we can get this drying up pretty quickly so that we can use these. Meanwhile, maybe I can think about what I might do with this. Big globs of glue. Oh. All right, so there's the parchment paper. Still need to use lace and gold pin. You can see it drying up. Working pretty well. I'll turn it over and see if we can hit it from the back just a bit. That helps speed it up a little bit. Just give it a little back heat. Okay. Okay. So I wonder if the heat will straighten it out more or if the heat will wrinkle it more, or if it won't make any difference. See, this is cool. It's got stamps on it. It's got plates. It's got tickets. It's got butterflies and flowers and the birds. Really pretty napkin. Oh, see the glue bubbling over there. That's kind of cool. I like to see what heat does to things. That's fun. Okay. Oh, we're getting there. We are definitely almost there. All right, meanwhile, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? How about... Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. And I think we'll use... Okay, I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I was going to say, I think we'll use this picture right here of the birds, but now I'm not sure. But I'm going to set that aside. And where's that baby wipe? Okay, because we don't want everything wet. Okay. All right, so my thought is keep that baby wipe close by. Let's see if I've got the paper towel, I'll grab Kleenex or two. Dry that up. All right, I know that I got a little Lucy over there in something she's not supposed to be in. Lucy, excuse me while I grab her. I don't want her eating something that's not going to be good for her. She likes to get into eggs. Come on. Yeah, come on. You good girl. Come on. Come on. Yep, you know you're not supposed to be back there. She woke up and I was in the middle of a tutorial and she said, oh, hey, I can go to the other side of the room. Mom's not watching me. Okay, so I know that I've got back here some blanks for tags. Let's see if I've got any that have substrate. Okay. All right, so this will probably work. All right. I also have, I'm sorry to be running around grabbing things, but as I said, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that I needed to do Glynis's challenge. Okay, got that bird, and I think we'll need a label of some kind here. We might can use one of those numbers, or we might want one of those. Oh, goodness, too many choices, huh? Not one of those, that's too big. All right, so we'll do that, or we may even want one of those, a black one maybe. There, okay. All right, so I've got a label, I've got a bird, and I think I'm gonna want a pocket. I think what we're gonna do is turn this into a tag. We're going to tear out this bird. Now I'm gonna be sending this to Glynis, and I know that Glynis loves birds. She fussy cuts a lot of birds. So I'm not fussy cutting it, I'm just going to tear it out because I want a rough edge. I do want a rough edge on it. Okay. Let's see. All right, that bird is Flicker, so maybe I should take his name too. Flicker, High-Hole, Yellowhammer, Gold-Winged Woodpecker, Yaffle, Wickiup, and more. Those are all the things that he's called. Okay, so let's see here. Let's tear out his name. Maybe we find a label that his name can go on. Lucy, what are you looking for down there? Whoopsie. I don't think you belong down there. Okay. Tell you, having a puppy's just like having a child again. Always getting into things they're not supposed to. Always wait until you're on the phone or in a tutorial and then getting into stuff. All right, so there we have that. And I wonder, I don't know if this is big enough. If not, I might need to grab a different label, because I think I like his name inside one of these. I could tear that down a little bit if I need to. That's the same size, and that's the biggest one there. So I think that's, if we're going to put it in that, I think we just have to tear it down a little bit more, which we can do. No big deal. And we'll vintage the edges, give it a little bit of ink. Okay. Almost there. Okay, and then that's going to go right in there. Let's get that little point up there off. Okay, so I think now we just need to put some ink on it. Let's grab this brush that's close by here. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera with that. Oh, I always find it difficult to ink these little tiny pieces of paper that are torn edges, and trying not to destroy the piece of paper, and it's so small anyway. But get the edge inked. And I kind of like, I like the edge dark, but then getting some ink all the way inside kind of knock down that bright color. Let's take off that right there. And then we need, there we go. Okay, so now if that goes right in there, but for some reason it just doesn't feel right, like the right color of label. Whoops, didn't mean to throw that on the floor, but I did. Okay, let's see what other labels we have here. Surely there are other labels, something that might work a little bit better. A lot that are too big. Okay, now there's, all right, here's some round ones. Let's see. And here, there we go. There's some different shapes and even non-white. That's probably what we need. Now we've got this pack spread out all over the place. Let's try this. So here's some other shapes. What have we got? A little bit of yellow in him and a tiny bit of red, brown. Maybe it's a matter of what it would fit on. Probably fit on that one. Or we could go with one of these. That's awfully wide. I need to vintage the whole thing. We can do that. Let's see. Let's see what one of these non-white looks like. What do we think? All right. Let me hang tight for just a minute because I want something, and I'm just looking through a bin of stuff that I pulled off my desk the other night. I want something to make a pocket down here, and I'm sure I've got a card of some kind that would work for that. I'm just hoping there's one right here, so I don't have to go very far. How about this one? This says Traveler, and that is probably Tennessee Rose. We could take off just the Traveler and use just the Traveler for a pocket. That would look kind of cool. All right, so I'm just gonna grab a tiny paper cutter here and just take that off. Just that word Traveler, and then we've got another card we can use for another one. All right, so if this is going to go right here, and we'll attach it on two sides. Okay, I'll leave that sit here for a minute. And we're going to use this. We're not exactly sure what's going to go on top of. But man, it feels like Saturday all over again, where somebody told me what elements I had to use. Except it's not working as well. Well, you know, it just takes a little time. That might be better there. That might be better. Okay. But let's see. We need, what we're going to do is on this parchment, we're going to make another tag out of this napkin covered parchment and attach it to this. Okay, I think we need some music page. We know we're gonna need some lace. Question is, will we use black lace or a cream lace? I've got a couple that have just been sitting here left over from projects. Let's see what we've got there. We can do that. We could bring this right up across here. And then we could attach our bulb pin up there by that one. And we can make this guy go underneath it. Well, we don't want to cover his head, but he could be a little bit underneath it. He needs some ink around him. And then we can put our flicker over here. And then we've got our traveler. I don't really like the traveler and that together. Maybe we are back to this. Maybe. I wonder if it'll fit on a smaller one. Isn't really much smaller. We could put it on that one. It just gives it a little bit of, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm not going to think about that anymore. Just going to do that. Look, can't hardly see with that glare. There we go. I can see. Get a little bit of, whoopsie. There was something clogging that art glitter glue, and that just came flying out. Well, that's going to stay, that's for sure. Okay. There we go. And then this is a sticker, so we'll be able to just take that off and stick that down when we're ready. That's better. That's better. Okay. Let's start with inking this whole tag a little bit. This was made from one of those old brown expanding folders. So it's a really nice sturdy tag. And on the back, usually either just smear some white gesso or put some coffee dyed paper, tea dyed paper, or maybe a page from a, tear off page from a notepad. So, oh, I think I'm making the camera shake, so I apologize for that. I'll stay off of that desk there. Yeah, you can get a tear off piece of a pad from some pad that has a saying on it or a picture or something, and glue it on there, and that makes for some nice journaling space back there. Okay, let's get the art glitter glue with its pin back in it before it gets completely, come on, come on. Don't want it to get completely stopped up, all dried out. All right, so if we do that, if we do this. Let's see. What if we do that? What if we do that? And then what if we do that and that? Let's see. There's scissors. Scissors. Let's say we're gonna just take this little piece right here. That feels really cool with the parchment on the back and the napkin. Okay, let's say we're just going to take that. If we were just going to take that and then attach it with a bulb pin right there, our bird isn't going to get seen a whole lot. So what if we move our bird down here? He can be well under the pocket. That's okay. We're attaching this one up here, and this can go here, or it could go here. No. Maybe we don't need a pocket on this one. Maybe we have the bird. Let's do a little flipperoo. See what happens when we put it on the other side. All right, so if we were going to attach this up here to the lace with the bulb pin. Well, thank you for bringing my shoe. Thank you. That is not for you to chew on. Thank you. But you can chew on the bear. And this guy, I need to get some ink on him. Let's say he was right there, and this was right here. I think we need a little bit of music paper. That's what I think. I should have at least maybe some piece of music paper. It needs a little something more than what it's got. So let me grab a piece of music paper. I think that's close by. I've got an old... Oh, Lucy, no, I don't want you to carry the napkin on the parchment away. I like that. I'm going to use it. Thank you. There's an old piece of music that's falling apart. Let's tear that off and keep that. Okay, let's see what... this is kind of tearing naturally right there. Crease right there, so let's just tear it off on the crease. And how about we put that right there? Let's do that. All right, where's that art glitter glue? Yeah, it's weird to I guess this is kind of a craft along with me, or see how I finally handle Glynis's challenge. I guess it could be a tutorial, but it's a tutorial that I'm figuring out what it is as I go. But I do like Saturday when we did that, you know, tell me what to use, because it challenges my creativity and it forces me to not think about everything exactly the same way as I've always been thinking about it. You know, use something different means you got to think a little bit different. Like, what am I going to make with something different? And I like that. I like that. I don't like getting stagnant and stuck in the same processes and using the same things. Move this guy here. Okay, and then we attach this one up here with the bulb pin. And we probably need, we could attach it from the corner or from the center. We probably need something with just a tiny bit of color up here. Ooh. That is actually the same colors that he is. Where, that might be better down there than up high. So what if he goes back up here? What if that is there? What if that is there? And this guy attaches to the lace right there with a bulb pin. All right, the question is, what color bulb pin do we want to color? I'm going to say maybe gold or brown or just one of our vintage type one. So here's what gold would look like with that gold. Maybe. I'm not even going to pull out brown. But let's see. Yeah, I think that one's better. Okay. All right, so then the question becomes, do we attach it? How about we attach it like that? Like that, right in the middle. Is that good? I think that's good. Okay, I'm gonna do this. First, we need to get this bird some ink. These are rough edges to do, very soft edges on a very, very old book. So how did you all do with your challenge? I've seen some of them in Happy Paper People. If you've not yet joined Happy Paper People, you should come to the group and join. I will tell you a secret when you go to join that it's going to ask you 3 questions. If you'll answer all 3 questions, it'll let you in right away. You won't have to wait to be admitted. But you can come and see those people that have posted. Shall I just poke that through, or shall we give that an eyelet? I'm thinking just poke it through like it's a little picture you have hanging from your mirror or something. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, come over to the group and you can see the pictures that people are posting about the things that they made with their challenge items. I was just looking to see what other odds and ends and bits and pieces I have sitting around here. Let's go ahead and put this down with some Fabri-Tac. We know we need a strip all the way down there. Okay, and then we're gonna need, well, let's just put it on. Just put it on. I'm gonna put that to the edge, don't need to even trim that off. There we go. All right, so just the edges down. Maybe we just want the edge down. Maybe this guy will hold the rest of it down. Okay. Fabri-Tac out, so I'll just use it because it's actually going onto fabric. So give it that extra hold that fabric sometimes needs. Doesn't need extra with Fabri-Tac. It holds really well the first time. Okay. All right, there's our little bird. We're gonna get the flicker. Oh, nope, this is a sticker. Let's get the adhesive off the back. Glad I remembered that last second. Ah, these are so thin. The whole thing is so thin. So you go to take off the adhesive on the back and it is just super, super thin because the whole tag is thin. There, when I bend it, I can see it. Okay. All right. Let's put that about right there. How's that? That's good. Okay. And we can pull that in there. We can put this right on the bottom. Let's get some Fabri-Tac on this one. I guess it was just an odd end cut off of something. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get Fabri-Tac on these pieces on the end so that they won't hang out like that, but they'll just come in. Come in and stick right here with these guys. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Don't know what that is, but doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. There we go. Perfect. All right, I think, yeah, there's enough to go through that lace and stick that down. All right, so we're gonna take this all the way up to the top, or we're gonna cut it off here. I think we take it all the way to the top. Hey, Lucy. Lucy, stop chewing on my papers. Okay, there we go. Get this guy down, we got that down, we got this down. All right, then we're going to stick our little bird tag. That is napkin on parchment. Right there, so that it's, we can make that free hanging, or we can tack it down just a little right there. I think I'll do that, just tack it just a little right there. Just one spot. Keeps it from swinging around, but yet it still looks free swinging because it's all up. None of this is laying flush. So, okay. All right, we need something on the top, and we need us a ribbon. Okay, let's make a, what kind do we want? Do we want the slot, or do we want a hole? Maybe, let's try, maybe we should find our ribbon first, because the type of ribbon will determine what type of hole we need, whether we want a slot or a round hole. Trying to get the needle, the pin in the art glitter glue so that doesn't dry out. Let's get this covered. We got the Fabri-Tac covered. Okay, so let's take a look in some ribbon here. And got some beads on top of it because I was looking at all abouts. So move my beads over. There we go. And let's look at some ribbon. So it might be nice if we had something with a little bit of rusty red, maybe some brown, maybe some gold. All right, I am looking through this bin. It's a little too large to set up on the desk. Wish I could, so you could see what I'm seeing. Oh, what is this? I have no idea what this is, but it's kind of cool looking. It's kind of looks very earthy, very foresty, except it's got a glitter in it. That's cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's got the brown from them. Let's see. All right, I am just toying with, here we go, I'm just toying with something like that, and then stapling it right there. Okay, what if we had like that? That's kind of bent. Maybe it'll stay. It's a little bit long to stay. So, what if we make that a little bit shorter, maybe the center, and gives it a little bit more bulk at the bottom. Like that, and then staple that. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's see if our tiny stapler will go through this. Oh, I wish I'd put the gold staples in it, but I can change the color of the staple with a Sharpie. There we go. Got it. I did get over it. Okay. I'm not laying super nicely. Not laying exactly how I want them to. That's better. Okay. I'll color that with a little brown brush marker. That's what I'll do. All we need is just a tiny bit of brown brush marker. And that staple will disappear. Just like that, staple disappeared. There you go. Okay. All right, Glynis, there you are. There's my parchment right there, and my bulb pin, and my lace. And it just feels like there's not enough color on it, so I might even pull out the walnut and just make this a little darker all the way around. I think I'm gonna need a little bit of glue up there, but I can do that. All right, so thanks for joining me today on this craft along with me, or tutorial on how to make a card from nothing with a bulb pin, a parchment, and what, lace? How to I guess mostly it's the process of, if you don't know what you're going to make, but you sit down, you want to create, you can tell yourself that. You can take that list and cut everything up and put it in a bowl, and then pull out 3 things and tell yourself, all right, I need to make something with these 3 things. And, you know, that's the process you go through. And you saw how I, you know, tried some things and then didn't like them and moved them around and flipped them exactly opposite. And that's what you do until you end up with something that you're happy with. So this tag is going to be on its way to Glynis in Canada. Thanks for the challenge, Glynis. I really did enjoy that. And I might have to put something right there. We'll see. Might be coming with a little surprise on there. Have a great evening, a great morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Thanks for joining me today. And I will be back with another tutorial soon. But until then, stay curious and try something new.